Hello, Real Women of Philadelphia. I'm Lori, and I am so excited that you have chosen to come and spend time right here in my kitchen during dessert week. I have a great recipe to share with you today, one that I am incredibly excited about. I'm talking about my Berry Creamy Trifle. I combine the berries and the fresh flavors that are available to you during spring and summer, along with some amazing creaminess from our Philadelphia cream cheese. So our Berry Creamy Trifle is going to be made up of 3 layers inside a beautiful yet simple trifle bowl. So I'm going to make up 2 little individual servings just for my husband and I to share tonight before we get a chance to share the whole dessert with the family tomorrow. The nice thing about a trifle is it looks so incredibly attractive because you put it in a clear dish so that you're able to see all those colors and especially see the creamy goodness in the Berry Creamy Trifle. The next thing I'd like to show you is what we're using as our base layer for our trifle, which are little angel food cakes. These guys are plentiful in stores right now because it's just about strawberry shortcake season. So they're all over the place and they're fresh and they're delicious. So I went ahead and I'm using store-bought ones today. Our next layer is our creamy goodness layer. This is made up of our Philadelphia cream cheese. We're going to be using 3 cups of Philadelphia cream cheese, 2 in the strawberry variety. I've got 1 light and 1 regular here to use today, and then 1 in the regular variety. Now for the 1, you could use either the light version or the regular version, whichever one you happen to prefer, and it's going to come out tasting great either way. Work with is our strawberries. Strawberries are a must-have in our Berry Creamy Trifle. We also have some fresh blueberries washed and rinsed off there, and just a little bit of blackberries. Back when we lived in BC in the Lower Mainland, I grew up on the West Coast, you could find blackberries just lining trails everywhere you went. Well, now that I'm in Alberta, that's something I have to let go of, and I only have just a little sampling of blackberries whenever I get the chance to find some really good looking ones in the store. So that's going to make up our berry layer, and then we're going to have a layer of whipped cream to top it all off with at the end. I am just going to take a serrated knife, and each of these little cakes I'm going to cut carefully, taking care not to squish them up, just into little pieces. Little bite-sized pieces, I'm going to get about 10 pieces from each one of these little cakes. And then we're going to spread those out evenly in the trifle. You know, my inspiration for this dessert came when I was backpacking barefoot through Siberia and wrestling tigers with my bare hands in order to bring them back for zoos in North America. Okay, you're right, that totally never happened. I've never actually left our beautiful continent. But for some reason it sounded a lot more exciting than the inspiration that really came for this recipe, which was simply just the fact that when I saw Philadelphia cream cheese had come out with a strawberry variety, this dessert popped into my head, and I knew it was going to be a fantastic way to use all that strawberry creaminess. So not nearly as exciting as Siberian tigers, but yet that's how these things come to be sometimes. You know, the next thing we're getting ready here is our whipped cream. The key I find to whipped cream is cold, cold, cold. Keep your whipped cream cold in the carton, which is why it was in the fridge, but also your bowl and your whisk should be as cold as possible. So these guys have been chilling in my freezer. Just when I started out the recipe, I tossed them into the freezer, and now they are freezing cold, sticking to my fingers. And I've got my whipped cream in there. I've got 2 cups of whipping cream, or 500 milliliters in there, and I'm going to put a little splash of vanilla, grab about 1/3 of a cup of icing sugar. I'm just going to sprinkle in there too, and whip it all up in my electric mixer in the nice freezing cold bowl. And the coldness of the whipped cream and the bowl and the whisk all together just give my whipped cream more body and help it mix up a lot faster. So now with our whipped cream back in the fridge, we're ready to work on our cream cheese layer. I'm going to start again with the 2 cups of Philadelphia cream cheese strawberry flavor. This is going to add so much creamy goodness and so much flavor. I'm just really excited at the whole prospect of eating this already. Your ingredients cold, except for your cream cheese. You want that to be at room temperature before you start mixing it up, because it's really important that it's able to mix up totally smooth. Now we're making quite a bit. I think I'm going to use my regular cream cheese for the 3rd one here. We're making quite a bit of the cream cheese layer, and that's because, quite honestly, it's the best part. it's something that you don't want to scrimp on for sure. So with now that we've got 3 cups of our cream cheese in there, looking so yummy, we're going to get this going on the electric mixer with my whisk attachment and just mix it until it's smooth. Now the cream cheese is in there all smooth, ready to go, and now my whole kitchen is smelling like strawberry cream cheese, and it smells delicious. Next thing we're going to add is the juice of half a lemon. Now to get the most juice out of your lemon, you want to be able to just soften it up a bit first. So you can roll it on the counter, roll it between your hands. But one fun thing about juicing a lemon is it's the perfect time to practice your fruit juggling. So the funny thing is I can't juggle, but my children don't actually know that. They think this is juggling. And the best time to practice this is when you're doing lemons, because if you drop it, you're just going to end up with more juice out of that lemon. So now that this lemon's ready to go, slice it in half. It should be nice and soft now. I'm going to squeeze this lemon straight into my mixing bowl. Into the mixer, I'm also going to add 1 teaspoon of vanilla and 1 can, a 14-ounce can of sweetened condensed milk. Now with our mixing done, we've got a smooth and perfectly creamy Philadelphia cream cheese layer there with our ingredients all mixed together. I took my spatula, scraped down the sides and scraped the bottom a couple times during mixing, and everything's now nice and uniform. My mom lives in BC, because that's where I grew up. She would just love this dessert, I'm sure. Much of this cream cheese layer inspiration actually came from one of her recipes. So I got my trifle bowl all ready to go. We're going to work on the main trifle bowl first, and then I'll put together my little mini ones in just a minute. So starting with our cake, we're going to put our angel food cake layer at the bottom. Now the important thing to remember is that nobody's going to see the center of your bowl. Seeing the center, they are certainly seeing the outside. So that's the part we want to make a special, we want to pay special attention to as you're setting your ingredients in. So we're going to use a ladle for our cream cheese layer and scoop that onto the top. Again, making sure you get that color of that lovely pink tone around the sides of the trifle bowl, because that's what makes this our Berry Creamy Trifle, is of course the goodness of the creaminess and the berries. So with the strawberries, I'm putting them flat side towards the edge of the bowl so that you can see strawberries around the edge. Just kind of setting them right into the cream cheese layer as we go around. And then I'm also going to set my blueberries right in the bowl also. So I'm going to put a few of those right on the edge also to add some of that extra color of the blueberries. And blueberries need to kind of be a couple levels high in order to be able to see them from the outside. Strawberries, just 1 high is plenty. Now don't forget, even though you're paying close attention to the sides of your trifle bowl, to make sure that your fruit goes all the way throughout, because when you're digging laid out there, now it's time for a generous heaping of whipped cream. This layer is totally where your dessert becomes your work of art. So picture your little round canvas here. You're decorating it up with all sorts of color, all sorts of texture. We're going to make this one look all beautiful. Now when it comes to decorating up the top of your trifle, have some fun with it. Everybody can be an amazing food artist right in their own kitchen. If it was for July 1st, maybe you want to do your trifle in a rectangle glass pan. Make the top with your strawberries up to be a beautiful Canada flag. Or if it's someone's birthday, or maybe Mother's Day, or some special occasion like that, set it all into a nice heart and decorate the outsides. Maybe use your imagination and have fun with the amount of color and vibrance that the fruit creates in your trifle. Here it is, our Berry Creamy Trifle that was amazingly easy to put together and yet decadently delicious, that is sure to impress all of your guests. So enjoy, and until next time, keep creating something delicious with your Philadelphia cream cheese, and I'll look forward to seeing you again.